you don't really want that picture of you, like,
Chris.
Well, and
throwing it up with your bros in front of your prospective boss.
Out of context, a lot of pictures can seem, or just a lot of information. I mean, think of all like the weird CrossFit jokes we all make on Facebook, where you're like,
snatches and
wads,
and
if you didn't know about,
you blew your wad on a snatch wad.
yeah, that's exactly right. And then someone looks at that and they're like, oh, that's sick. What's wrong with these people? I don't know. I just think it's a weird.
So do you recommend getting rid of the internet? Just for the sake that we can go back in time like we did 200 years ago, get fucked up on mead and party in a field and forget all about it
that
next
would
morning.
actually be really cool. What I do think is going to happen is that at some point in time, you're going to go to a job interview and dude's going to be like, they're not all these questions about like, Chris, did you ever smoke marijuana? And then 20 years ago, you're supposed to sit there and say, oh, no. And now everyone's going to go, I tried it. Of course I did. But I don't do it anymore, I think people will admit to all kinds of strange things because they're going to have to.
Well, because there's evidence.
Well, there's evidence, and I think what I would call non-normative
digital footprint now.
Yeah, non-normative behavior. What we consider non-normative, which actually is in large part normative, will become more normative. The internet's going to confront people with questions of sexuality, of substance abuse.
Normative. Weird word when you think about it.
Well, I mean, that's clinically that's what you. Some of these things you'd say.
What are your clinical qualifications?
I read a lot.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm as qualified as most senators. I'm a simple man.
Now wait a minute. You read them books?
I believe Steven's wrong, Chris.
Chris is actually a book burner.
What, you burn books?
No. Where'd that come from?
Just the bad ones.
Just the bad ones.
I burn them in my mind. The shit.
All right, guys. This is Mike Bledsoe here with Barbell Shrugged, of course, again. We have Chris Moore.
Hello.
Yay.
I'm Chris. Hey, how's it going?
James Chaney.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, fellas? It's good to be here.
And the giggly Robby Froning.
I still don't know why I'm here.
Who's replacing Doug?
Neither do we.
Who is replacing? I'm the. Oh, hang on.
We'll refer to you as New Doug.
Yes.
Speaking of Doug, so Mike, you mentioned you want to do a full-on trash talk session about Doug since he's on his way to Africa.
Right now. He is. It's after 7 o'clock, so he's already on his plane on the way out. And so, we were talking about posture earlier, and you were talking about how Doug's posture is. Like,
I can't even. I'm too close to this thing to sit.
He always sits like ultra erect, right?
Yeah.
Did you just say erect?
Ultra erect. This podcast is sponsored by Doug's Ultra Erect.
But really, I mean, the best posture, I don't know how familiar is the one that's always changing. So, like, to always try to keep that very erect posture would not be a good thing. Yes.
A constantly. I'm
is there
being
research
serious
about this?
You don't want to sit in one spot at any given time, or else the muscles will get short.
So you're advocating being fidgety.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kind of like the whole standing at your desk type of thing. Is you don't want to stand completely still. You want to shift.
You
the one
stand
foot.
at your desk.
Yeah, you got a standing desk.
Fidgeting and wallering. I'm a big waller. I fucking love the waller around. Slink down my chair and do this and just.
Do you stand at your desk?
No.
Do you know anyone that literally stands at their desk?
Yeah,
I do.
Mike Bledsoe. He has a standing desk at his house.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
Why? Well, I don't understand why.
There's research. To focus?
There's research to support that it's
sitting down,
better brain function. It's
standing up is better brain function.
Yeah, it increases circulation. Standing up and moving.
Yeah.
There's some people that actually have mounted desks to their treadmills to help increase circulation for better productivity.
Hey, that's a good point. Because look. Okay. At some point,
not me.
At some point, there's all these things you could do that are theoretically better, but at what point do you just default to some sort of self-preservation? Look, I gotta fucking work. I'm not gonna stand behind a desk on a fucking treadmill and type on.
Supposedly, from what I've heard about the treadmill,
Like what kind of existence is this?
It only takes a couple hours to get used to it, and then you're in the saddle for like forever. So I'm not gonna do it. I'll just stand. I do enough exercise otherwise. But
how do you type when you're just? How do you do anything like that?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just like a leisurely stroll on the treadmill.
See,
I don't think he's speed walking.
Hold on though. The thing is, of all
how
the
can you read
of all the
anything
shit
when you're walking?
Of all the shit in your life, where you're like, you get up in the morning. I mean, I'm older than you guys, but I get up in the morning and I go, God, I feel like ass. And then you self-degrade. You're like, I shouldn't have had. On the way over here, I had Yolo. I shouldn't have had that.
By the way, you eat a lot of fucking Yolo.
I love that shit.
I
my rule
do too,
of thumb is
what is Yolo?
It's frozen yogurt
For the people.
not
Not everyone that listens to this is from Memphis. So they won't know.
It is a locally owned and operated frozen yogurt place. They
What's
have
your
all kinds of
what's your
toppings.
favorite flavor? What do you get?
Dreamy chocolate. It's also the name of my favorite movie. No, that's not 100% true. I'm a chocolate guy. I like chocolate. Sometimes they have red velvet cake, which I go for. But
they had a caramel, like a dulce de leche or something at the Midtown one day.
did you call me something? Because you said that and then you looked at me. Like,
My problem with Yolo, I love the business, and I love the toppings and the atmosphere, but they don't have a whole lot of originality and variation with the flavors at these Memphis one at least.
no,
If I could combine the atmosphere and toppings, and structure of Yolo, with the quality of yogurt at TCBY, now I got the perfect place. 'Cause TCBY is still the dopest place for the yogurt.
I don't know if I agree.
But
I just like chocolate.
Okay, at Christmas time, what are they gonna have? An option's gonna be eggnog frozen yogurt.
You eat
During
eggnog
summer.
frozen
Yeah.
yogurt?
Every time I walk into Yolo, it's always the same like 5 flavors. They have a white chocolate and some stupid tropical flavor. I don't want anything.
Hold on, though.
Because that
Hold
means
on.
you got to put fruit in your yogurt. I don't want any fruit anywhere near my dessert. This whole thing is stupid.
There's an important thing I was trying to say though before we got on.
Well, they try to give you Tahitian vanilla. This shit is just vanilla.
I
They
do
just
hate.
put fucking Tahitian. Like,
Vanilla's vanilla.
Oh, I
I
knew
do-
something was different about this vanilla.
I do
all
hate how
right,
they read
before
it.
anyone
The very
gets
idea
very
of
far into this
tropical
podcast,
vanilla. What is that
before
supposed to
anyone
mean?
gets very far into this podcast, just know you're going to be wasting your time
Here.
on the rest of the world.
No, but the point I was going to make about this whole walking crap or whatever or standing desk.
Back to the posture.
Of all the shit in my life that I'm like, I do wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Or I could, maybe I shouldn't have had Yolo. I never get to the point where I'm like, everything's so good. I think the one problem I have is sitting in a chair. I sit in a chair too long. I think this needs to be addressed.
I think there was 2 things that drove me to do the
Insanity, number one.
the standing at the desk.
Yeah.
One was repetitive back injury. So I mean, actually, anytime I stretch my hamstrings, I get hurt. But that's why I don't believe in stretching.
You get hurt a lot.
But I find that I get hurt more frequently if I've been sitting a lot.
Really?
So I get tight hips, and that ends up hurting my lower back during the lifts.
See, but how much do you actually sit at a desk, Robby, like during your work day? I mean, you're up walking around.
It depends on the day. Some days as much as maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, well, there's some
then you
people.
need to be standing. I mean,
I sit
think
for 8 every day. 8 hours every day.
If you ride in a car for that long, don't your hips just feel bound up?
I feel wonderful. No, they do. But riding in a car,
How's that any different?
it just feels different. I can't describe why, but it's
because you probably move around. You stand up.
I fidget.
Every half
I
hour.
stand up. I'm short enough that I can stand up in a car. Thank you.
You go. No, I'm talking about at home, like you go pee and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I was gonna say I do stand up and walk around, and then sometimes I do. What was the Tom Cruise movie where he's the sports agent? I know you know this one.
Oh, Show Me the Money.
Yeah, what's the name of that?
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry
There you
Maguire.
go.
I do because I have this little window in my office where I can see the sales floor. So I'll do my Jerry Maguire where I stand up, and I'm very important. I talk on the phone and I walk around and I look. It's my Jerry Maguire moments. So I guess I do that. That's why my hips are so supple.
Well, that's a good point. I think it's better just to conscientiously.
Can you say that again?
Easy for you to say.
Can't even get it out today. You got to think about.
Chris likes big words.
Well, I'd rather just sit down and then go. Okay, I haven't moved an hour. I'm gonna get up, walk around, get some coffee, stretch it out, shake it out, get a little swagger back, and then sit back down and get into the writing again.
I'll tell you what. I wasn't sure about. I used scaffolding, which was in my garage for my stand-up desk originally.
It's not a. Do you have a legitimate stand-up desk now?
No,
it's still a
no.
scaffolding.
I like the scaffolding. It's got that rugged look. So I used,
whatever makes it look less cheap in your mind.
that and I'm a cheap bastard, but the.
Oh, this is plenty good. This is plenty nice.
But it actually ended up being like the exact height I needed, which is actually kind of hard to find. So that's why most stand-up desks are very adjustable. Like if you spend $500.
If you really believe in the stand-up desk,
but I stand up at the desk, I as a test, and after the first day, I was sold. I mean, try it for a day.
If let me ask you this: if I were new to CrossFit Memphis and I came in and went through the fundamentals course, which session would they talk to me about standing up at work? I mean, I understand what you're
Session
saying.
one.
I don't believe you're committed
actually
to
probably
this.
be held to the when you went through your one-on-one mobility assessment with Doug Larson.
With Doug and Doug would go, I did that, and I actually found it helpful, the exercises he gave me. But during the process, he would go, "Wow, okay." and I kind of had that feeling like, God, I'm made of stone or something, And then he goes, oh, it's not bad, And you want to stretch. He never said anything about standing up.
Nah, that's because I don't know.
He didn't care,
Doug,
did he?
Doug's sitting down most.
He
of the
sits
time.
down most time.
Yeah, but he sits.
Ultra erect.
Someone else. So from a productivity standpoint,
Yes.
I was reading a book on just.
Were you reading it standing up?
On a treadmill.
I actually like to lounge while I read.
Yes.
So I like to practically lay down. So I'm usually sprawled out on my couch. But the other thing is K-Star. He talks about standing at his desk when he works. So he does a lot. He doesn't really sit. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people's hips and their mobility is they sit all the time. They don't do enough squatting. Like all of us here probably feel pretty good because we squat a good bit. But if you take someone who doesn't squat at all and they sit all the time, they're all jacked up.
I will say one thing I'm constantly astounded by when I'm dealing. Well, you get those people that are like, "Tell me about CrossFit." So I always kind of start with that, squat. How many people can't like they just can't squat down? I mean, I guess. Coming into CrossFit, I could squat a little bit, not as well as I think that I can now. But some of these people, and young people, fairly young, people in their 20s, that sort of stop, with their knee at 120 degrees.
They've never done it. They've never.
It's a lot easier
I
if they're
couldn't do
wearing
it well
heels.
at first.
Yeah.
Those girls wearing those high heels, they can usually squat pretty good right off the bat.
Having worked a job where you have to sit at a desk for close to 8 hours a day, I can tell you it freaking sucks. And it was so I constantly had to get up and I would try to stand at the desk and but I had to kind of bend over because it was it wasn't made for standing.
That would explain your extreme anterior pelvic tilt.
I have a pelvic.
Do you have
tilt.
extreme anterior pelvic tilt?
I haven't noticed that.
Why haven't you ever told me about this?
He's never looked you in the eyes, has he?
Oh.
When did you? I don't know. When did you start CrossFit?
2.5 years ago.
And were you fit before you did that? Did you have some fitness?
I was Lobo Gym fit, so not really. I mean,
So did it punish you the first few months you did it?
Yeah, I would go home. I would train in the afternoon, early evening. I would go home, try to do homework, and I would just pass out. It demolished me.
And then wake up and eat.
That makes me feel better.
Wake up and eat.
Yeah.
Yes, I felt like I was eating all the time. I was hungry all the time, and I would sleep quite well.
That reminds me. How was your weight gaining venture going?
I've been,
for those at home,
for my fans.
Yeah, Robbie's trying to put on some pounds.
Yeah, I'm curious. How much do you weigh, Robbie? If you could share.
Today,
if you don't mind telling the people.
Today, seriously, this is kind of a thing. I got on the scale, assuming the scale at your gym isn't a total piece of shit. No, I think it's legit, right?
Yeah,
okay,
it's pretty legit.
Today it said I weighed 157.1. Now I had clothes on, and it was at the end of the day, so that morning weight. But that's the most I think I've ever weighed
in your
really?
life.
Anytime I've ever gotten on a scale.
Oh, you're getting jacked.
Yeah, I'm huge. So everyone's on my ass because I'm not very big. Here, McGoldrick's out of the country, so I'm going to bring him up because he'll forget about this or not see it. He got on me not very long ago because Shep and I were talking. This big guy, if you don't know who Shepard is, that goes to our gym, and he's like my mirror opposite. Anytime he wants everything to be heavy and big weight and everything, and I want body weight. You know, I want to
Right.
throw myself around. I'm like, let's do something gymnastic. He's like, let's lift something. So we were having this back and forth. You know, McGoldrick just sort of got on me. He's like, throw it all out the window. Throw it out the window. And I'm like, what out there? He's a kind of intimidating guy if you don't know who he is. I'm like, what? He's like, you know, you're the size you are. You're just gonna have to accept that. I've seen guys your size, you know, do this or that or the other. Just throw it out the window. So I was like, oh, okay.
Master motivator.
So I tried to throw it out the window. I was like, you know,
what does that mean? What does throw it out the window mean?
I discussed it with several of my
don't,
friends.
Don't make excuses to keep trying to gain weight, or
I guess he was saying
lift
to me,
heavy things even though
I think he was saying, don't try to gain weight, don't try to lose weight. Just accept the
get
way you're at
where
and
you
just
are.
train hard.
well, and that's.
But it depends on your goal. Like if your goal is to go to the CrossFit Games, you probably don't want to focus on your weight too much and really just focus on your power output, you know, and your ability, your work capacity and stuff like that. It's like if you're getting stronger and your work capacity is growing and stuff like that, then don't worry about it. But if your goal is not to go to the CrossFit Games and all that kind of stuff, then you may want to put on some muscle mass.
Well, I guess I decided about 4 weeks ago after the throw it out the window conversation. I was like, I'm going to try to put on, because everyone I know is like a little bit bigger than me. And as you guys know, I work out with a lot of women who are all stronger than I am, and it gets demoralizing. So
hang on.
What?
Why do you train with so many women?
I don't. You know, I work with women all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a comfort zone.
Really, I hate to say this, but honestly, I'm very comfortable around women, more so than huge jack guys telling me to throw it out the window. just scare the shit out of me.
Well, your industry is?
I sell women's clothing.
Yeah.
I will soon be the purveyor of Fine Fitness.
Is that the name of the gym?
No.
What is that?
It's Fine Fit. I'm just upscaling CrossFit. The gym will be named CrossFit Chickasaw.
Meaning that he's opening up.
I'm
CrossFit
opening up a gym.
Yeah. This is not.
Did you know that, Chris?
This is not Michelle's.
Oh, yeah.
No, it is.
Okay, yeah.
It
I was
is.
like, what? Another gym?
Yeah.
what the shit? CrossFit Chickasaw.
CrossFit Chickasaw.
On Chickasaw?
It's on Poplar in Chickasaw Oaks Plaza in the Chickasaw area.
Oh.
Wait, Chickasaw, is
that
where Isabella
Gardens?
is? Or-
Ella.
Ella. Oh,
Ella.
okay.
One of my stores is in that shopping center.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah,
right across the
by
street
the-
from Chickasaw
right
Gardens.
there by the
So is
library.
this going to be a
Yes.
female-only CrossFit?
It's
Is
so
it
funny.
It should
Is
be.
that female plus Robby?
Female plus Rob. Hello.
I'll tell you what, it'd be the place to be.
Someone asked me that today.
I wish I would have thought about that.
Dude, people have for years would make fun of what I do until they come by on a busy Saturday.
Well, no,
and they're like, dude, this is
no.
what you do every day.
I wouldn't make fun of what you do for a living for a minute, because you get well-to-do, fit women coming in looking for clothes all the time. Imagine.
You hope those are the people you deal
Oh, you
with.
hope.
They're not always. They're not always.
Well, they're well-to-do.
what they are well-to-do.
This
The
guy's
shop, yeah.
fine purveyor of.
The purveyor of fine clothing.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be a purveyor of Fine Fitness?
Fine Fitness. But going back to this whole weight thing, because I talked to Chris about this, and it's freaking me out. I have been eating like the heavyweight champ of the world for almost 4 weeks now. I've got one more week, and then I'm throwing in. I don't know. I said I'll give it 5 weeks.
Would you take my advice? Did you try?
I tried.
What advice did you give him?
Oh, Robby will tell you.
Chris, Chris's wife was the first person the other day at the gym who said, she's like, hey, I said, hey, how are you? She's like, you look bigger to me. And I'm like, really? Yeah.
Oh my God!
I know. I was.
And that's when you went,
And it's the exact opposite. Yes! It's the exact opposite emotion that women have when you tell them, "Oh, he looks skinny today."
Yeah. If the
They
role
go, "Yeah, freeze frame high fives."
if the role was reversed and I said, you look bigger to me, she would have flipped out
And got slapped.
and probably kicked my ass. But I was so excited, but I can't keep eating like this. And I tried. Chris said to me, okay, get some coconut milk, put a couple scoops of whey powder in there, or protein powder.
Well, I told him to go. You got to go liquid route to get.
yeah, liquid is the way to go for
Chewing food is tough work.
well, that and just digesting all that.
Okay.
It's tough.
My old. I told him my old shake. At one point I went from like 280 to 370 in less than a year or something like that.
It's more than that's like twice of me.
It
plus.
was crazy. It was crazy. But what did it was, let's see, the milkshake.
Did it have
Whole-
frozen yogurt?
No.
Colt 45.
Whole milk, heavy cream, honey, 2 or 3 scoops of protein powder, peanut butter, 1 to 2 bananas, and probably a scoop or so of maltodextrin. I used to get like maltodextrin from a brewer's supply. It's basically just dumping a bunch of sugar in there.
Yeah.
But these shakes were like, man, I mean,
what time?
1 to 2,000 calories.
What were you eating before bed every night? And maybe this was after you'd gotten a 370. Was that for weight gain or just maintenance?
Who knows my motive? I figured, well, I want to squat 1,000 pounds, so I better get really yoked. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was like 22, 23, and completely clueless about why I was doing this.
Tell your bedtime ritual.
Oh, I know. You mean the candy?
Yeah.
It's so funny that later on,
this sounds good.
Later on, I told Brian I was like, I don't really know why. I don't eat that much to be 370. Well, one time, I remember.
and then I found out about his bedtime ritual.
Professor Galpin laughed at me one time. Professor Andy,
Dr. Galpin,
who used to live with me. I'm never calling that fucker doctor. He probably listened to this and laugh. But him
I think he assigns his students to listen to this as homework.
Yeah, he saw me.
Bastards.
Yeah, hello class.
He does make them watch Technique WOD for homework.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, your professor
pretty good.
Your
No,
professor used
good.
to live with me, and one day he laughed because it was like Thanksgiving. I brought home a sweet potato pie from my parents' house, and then one night we was watching TV. I just ate the whole pie. He's like, "What are you doing?" But about every night, I took a third to a half of an extra special Hershey's dark chocolate bar, like baking bar.
Yeah.
So this is like 3 normal candy bars. It's like at least equivalent of a one big. Then I would dredge each wedge through the jar of peanut butter, so we got a nice pile of peanut butter on it. Eat it. So
And you're eating like Jiffy peanut butter, not like organic, no sugar added peanut butter.
Yeah, it's just fucking peanut butter. So yeah, I would eat about half the jar of peanut butter and
Could you fall asleep?
a bar and a half or whatever of dark chocolate.
Could you
yeah,
fall?
I never had problems sleeping.
What are you talking
Really?
about? He probably is.
He goes in a diabetic coma every night.
And I remember I would also, for something. I mean, look, the ignorance of youth. Okay. At one point, I was like, well, I want a healthy snack and a slate. I don't want to eat like, I don't know, some kind of XYZ food. I figured, I'll just do popcorn. So I would eat. This is funny. This is self-deprecation and funny and whatever. I don't care. I throw it all out there because that's all you can do in this life. But I would pop 2 bags of like the fat-free popcorn. Eat fucking 2 bags of popcorn. But here's what I would do. I'd be like, well, this tastes like cardboard. That's a lot of carbohydrate too. A lot of just raw foods.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm eating 2 bags of popcorn. I'd be like, well, I want a little flavor on there. So I would take like the butter flavored cooking spray to spread all over the popcorn.
Oh God,
it's delicious. I want to say, look, I want to tell you, it's delicious, especially if you get the cheap Kroger kind. It tastes like fucking butter. Hey, look,
Like
I would
movie
go,
popcorn.
okay, well, the label tells me what I need to know.
I wonder if you would taste that now if you would still think that.
Probably not.
If that was just like what you thought.
But if you look at the back of the label on those spray cans of fat, cooking fat, I always get a little confused about it. I go, okay, like a third of a second is a serving size, and there's nothing in this. There's no calories. So I just fucking spray it all over. And it's weird because fat is on the thing, but there's no fat on the serving size, and I'd be confused. I don't think I had taken nutrition at this point. I was pretty young. And then one day, like 5, 6, 7 years later, I read a story like, yeah, they're not obligated to report. If it's a half a gram or below, they can round down. So if
to
it's
0.
So if that's half a gram of fat, they can just call it 0 fat. That's how they that's why
So
there's no
you're
calories
using
in
like
it.
a can for every
So I
2
was like,
bags of popcorn.
yeah, I was just gonna say
100 servings of pop, probably.
you were carpet bombing your popcorn.
So yeah, I mean,
with
but this is a
spray
good
butter.
point. This is a good point for people about nutrition. It's like, what do you think? If you think you somehow can't lose weight, I've tried everything. I've tried the diets. I've tried the exercise programs. I just can't lose weight. You are fucking eating way more calories than you think. It's probably some sort of hidden shit that you're not considering. You need somebody to sort of audit what you're eating and tell you, look, You're an idiot. You're spraying 45 grams of fat on 2 bags of popcorn every fucking night. This is why you are hugely fat. Or
oh, no.
You tell people you can't gain weight. I've tried everything. Boy, let me tell you how much food I ate. I had 2 eggs for breakfast.
No,
I had a sandwich for lunch. I had a shake after I trained. And then I ate 2 pieces of pizza before I went to bed. And I know powerlifters who eat like 15 meals a day to the point where
15 meals
just to stay like 220.
How do you
just to stay like 220? They're they're trembling with nausea, putting a spoon in a bowl of whatever, like going
I
just getting it into their mouth, and it's like closing their mouth and trying not to throw up.
Yep.
That's how you know you're eating a lot of food.
People who have a hard time losing weight, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then you find out that they're drinking 5 sodas a day.
Right,
they're doing everything right, but they have that one vice that totally throws them off, and they think that it's just one thing, Or the moment you ask them to have a diet log for 3 days, it's like, I don't ever cheat. Maybe one cheat every 3 days. And then it's like, oh wait, I eat Snickers bar like every 2 hours.
Or no, my
and
favorite
it's like I didn't even realize.
The
they're like I didn't even realize I was eating Snickers bars at all until I started writing it down. I've heard this. I've also had people that are like, you can sit there and have a conversation with them about what paleo is, about what good nutrition is, macronutrients, everything. And then they talk about how they're making all these changes, and they're like so optimistic, and they're hitting it hard, and they can't understand why they're not getting results faster. And then I have them fill out a diet log, and they've cut back their McDonald's trips from 5 times a day to 3 times a day. And
people,
do you know anybody who's going to McDonald's 5 times a day?
Yeah. I'm referring to a real client.
A real one.
5 times
a day or a week?
No, a day.
Oh.
They were proud of themselves for cutting it back like 2 or 3 times a day. They thought they were doing good.
I know people.
Well, I guess it's
I know
better.
people that will drink 2 liters of soda a day, which sounds like if I said to you guys right now, like on a bet, drink 4 liters of Coke.
That would kill me.
Oh my God, it would send me into a diabetic coma.
We're talking about Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm talking about any kind of thing.
I drink 1 glass and want to throw up.
And they don't think, they're so desensitized to it, and they don't realize the amount of sugar and calories. And yeah, they're like, well, it's just Coke.
It's like,
that's not.
It's mostly water.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
How else am I going to get hydrated?
Exactly.
I remember being younger.
Or Gatorade. There you go. Well, Gatorade's good for you.
Oh,
it's
man.
fucking.
It has electrolytes.
100 grams of corn syrup in it.
Brando.
I'm not
It
gonna
has
bring-
electrolytes.
That's exactly right.
I'm not going to say his name, but I used to coach a pro fighter, and we got to be really good friends. And he and his wife invited Doug and I over to his house for dinner one night. So we're over there eating dinner, and we haven't trained like that day at all. We're not gonna train.
Yeah.
And he pours Gatorade into his, that's what he drinks for dinner. Like, not water, not tea, not wine.
Gatorade.
He's drinking Gatorade. Like orange Gatorade at dinner.
I know.
And Doug and I are like looking at each other like, it's one of those things like, do you want to tell me or do you want me to tell me?
People just don't even begin to realize, and they get so desensitized to well here's the deal. I used to drink heavily, and after a while you begin realizing you have this problem and people don't do this with sports drinks, but they're equally as deadly in my mind. If you just pour a glass of whiskey, no ice, room temperature, and you can start drinking. Yeah, Chris is like, gross. I'd like one though.
Sorry,
and you just start drinking it. You're so desensitized, to it. You're like, oh, this is fine. I can almost drink this like it's water. And you set it down, and other people in the room are literally like, oh my God, the smell of it alone is going to make me pass out. And you're like, I may be an alcoholic. But I do that now, if I sit down and had like Chris just said, if I sit down and someone poured me a big glass of Coke and I drank it, it would probably nauseate me and definitely put me into some kind of like sugar coma. But if you drink Coke all the time,
well, you're always
it's
up
no big
here.
deal.
You're always up here anyway.
Yeah, you don't have any idea.
That's like people who drink 1 cup of coffee and they can't go to bed for like 3 days.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
That's me, man.
I could drink a cup right before I go to bed and be fine.
I'm just like you.
If I drink coffee
and I
after
don't
2
care.
p.m., 2 p.m. is my
said
cutoff.
Grow a pair, man.
I'm like, let's make this a man thing.
Just make it like you do any other training goal. Just be diligent with it. Ramp up your exposure to caffeine.
Hey,
it makes everything better.
I want to be sensitive to caffeine so that it's more effective. I go on.
Look, throw it out the fucking window, dude. Go to Starbucks, get some coffee, and just deal with it.
Get on a first name basis with the baristas.
Do an experiment on yourself. See how much you can drink and not go into shock.
All right, so Robby, you're opening up a facility, CrossFit Chickasaw.
I saw the segue. I saw the segue
with Michelle Kinney
and Jeff Baxter.
Yes,
the three of us.
Who's Jeff? Do we know Jeff?
Jeff is he's a Memphian. He's from here. He's a firefighter.
Is he a CrossFitter?
He's a CrossFitter. He's the quintessential CrossFitter in his garage at the fire station, and he has a great skill set and is a real laid back. You guys would like him. I don't know. He's come to Memphis a few times, but. What?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we may check him out, bro.
No, immediately I know Bledsoe's like, it's this Olympic lifts. I'm sure I could pick apart.
Well, that's like 90% of CrossFitters.
99. But anyways,
99.
Myself included.
Anyways,
okay.
So this is a women only gym besides you and Baxter?
Me and Baxter. That is untrue. Someone actually asked me that today, and I don't know where that idea came from, but we're going to be straight up CrossFit. So no, I've seen some places lately that they're incorporating yoga or like you guys have a pretty cool little layout for power lifters.
Right.
But that
strongman equipment, yeah.
Strongman stuff. We might have some strongman toys, but not nearly the stuff that
you bring up a really interesting point. Maybe you can tell me your thoughts on this. And I've been seeing that trend of having yoga in the CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
And I obviously people don't share the same opinion I share because I'm seeing it more and more often, and I'm also seeing CrossFitters who are like, oh yeah, on my off days I go to yoga. I'm like, oh my god. And maybe
what's wrong with it?
Maybe this is something that would
maybe
be better
they do it for
addressed
relaxation.
along with Doug, but the problem is
makes your orgasms more longer and more intense.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to yoga right now.
Anytime you lift, there are certain joints that you want to be very mobile. There are also just as many joints that you want to keep stable, right?
Correct.
So when you go to yoga, you're basically promoting range of motion and mobility at stable joints.
I think yoga, this is my opinion, yoga in and of itself is its own pursuit. And just like I have a great friend who is a very good distance runner. He's super
stupid.
How much can he deadlift?
Yeah. Immediately CrossFitter's like, really? Well, what can he jerk? But he's great at it. He loves it. That's what he wants to do. But that completely takes away. He probably doesn't have a 6-inch vertical leap. He can't. I'm sure he can't move any weight. But if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I think if yoga as a pursuit is something you want to do, that's great. I don't know how on earth that would help you as a CrossFitter.
I want to know. Exactly. That's why I'm like a little... I've had weightlifters and CrossFitters talk about doing this. And CrossFit gyms, I feel like it's at odds with... Like, if you listen to what Kelly Starrett says at all, like if you go to Mobility One, like, I feel like if you're going to use yoga to promote mobility, then you kind of miss the point of his website. I'm like, no. Just do the homework. He's listed on here if you want to be a better person. So, I mean,
I don't know.
And what I want to know is, how do you win at yoga? All right?
3, 2, 1.
Like, what kind of progression is it? This is stupid.
The other thing that's
I guess there's easy maneuvers and
I'll tell you
very
what,
complicated maneuvers.
I went to yoga when I was younger quite a bit to help put me in
meet chicks. Let's be honest.
That was one. Yeah. But put me in a more relaxed mindset, kind of like calm me down and stretch and stuff like that. This is before I had my now superior knowledge of mobility. But anyways.
Well, here's the other thing that you bring up a point when and James, and maybe it's just me. I feel like I work out a decent amount, and on my off days, or like if I do a hard workout in the morning, at 5 p.m. I'm not like, boy, what can I go do now? Most of the time, unfortunately, I haven't trained myself to stand or run slowly all the time. But most of the time, I'm like, I'm just wrecked, and I'm waiting to catch up to the next workout. So the people that go, oh, I want a little 5K run at the end of the day. I'm like, what kind of, unless that's part of what you want to do.
What kind of demented person thinks like that?
Yeah,
I'm convinced
how do you
that
have the
they
energy
didn't
to
train
do it?
hard enough.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, if you do a tough hour or whatever however you want to, if you want to call it a WOD or whatever your programming blocks are, if you go in and really go after it, I don't know where you find the energy to just, I'm going to go run a 5K later.
I'll tell you what this is. If I'm on vacation or something like that, I can work out in the morning and go scuba diving that afternoon, and then I can go back and do something else. It's because I don't have anything else on my mind. So the other that person might not be challenged at work, or they may not be challenged in the other areas of their life.
Yeah,
I could see that.
You make a point.
Like if I could not do, I could do a 10-minute jog in the morning to kind of get the blood flow going for productivity purposes. But thereafter, like I could do.
Who invited this guy?
I could
him a coffee.
I won't sleep tonight. My wife will hate me.
Mike, are you saying that people that train too much are basically bored at life
or dumb?
No.
Well, you just called me bored and dumb, sir.
So what I'm saying is, like, I can work a whole work day and not, lift any weights, and at the end of the day, I don't want to go train at all. Like, I'm totally spent. It's not my desire to go, compete in anything.
Mm-hmm.
People who are on the path to try to go to the CrossFit Games or something like that, and they're training 2 or 3 times a day, I think they could still be working really hard at work. Their capacity is really high. But to actually have the desire, like you were talking, I think I'll stack a 5K on top of what I did today. It's like, no, you probably
or you can do it for the short
enough.
term, but you'll burn out eventually if you are training very hard.
Well, and my thing is, when you start talking about CrossFit Games athletes, you're talking about an incredibly narrow band of people, and we see them a lot now because it's sexy. The CrossFit Games are coming, dun dun dun, and there's Rich Froning with his shirt off doing crazy shit.
By the way, I offered him $100 to do the podcast with his shirt off, and he wouldn't take it.
He wouldn't do it.
And then
he doesn't need your.
That's not the Rich Froning I know.
One of the guys in his entourage said, "I'll do it for 50."
Wait, Rich Venture has an entourage?
Oh yeah.
So I offered one of the guys in his entourage 5.
How many guys does he have?
Check out. Well, it varies. At this venture, at the Arnold Sports Festival, I think it was only 2. So it was the skeletal crew.
They refer to themselves as the entourage.
So are they? Is this like entourage? Like, is there a turtle? Are they all decked out in Reebok?
Well, I asked them about that, and I guess none of them had really watched the show. So they couldn't even comment.
It's so weird.
They're too busy lifting weights and Rich's. When you see him and doing his crazy shit in what looks like a barn or someplace, and you're like, that's crazy, and these guys are crazy.
Well, you know what was interesting? I mean, we've been talking about how CrossFit has been creating celebrities, and when we were at the Arnold Sports Festival last weekend, a lot of the top CrossFitters were there, Rob Orlando and Dan Bailey and Rich Froning and these guys, and people want to take pictures with him, and it's still. I mean, Rich. From what he was saying when we were hanging out with him, he was just he's like, I don't get it. He's like, all I do is work out. I just worked out a lot. Why do people want to take their picture with me?
He gets publicized, but you see those people. I know people all the time, especially young impressionable guys who say, did you see that video of, James Hobart doing some crazy thing? And I want to go do that, or he said he works out 4 times in a day. Those people are both unusual in their physical talents and motivation, and they represent such a small group of people to what I think CrossFit is. It's just one of those things that sort of drives me crazy when people are like...
I thought about the Eastbound and Down quote like 3 times now. Like,
what?
Try to play a real sport, not being the best at exercising.
Tell me you said that to Rich when he was here.
Well, the first time I thought about it was you said, how do you win at yoga? Like, how the fuck do you win swinging kettlebells?
You just do it faster than everyone else. That's all.
Man. What do you fucking do praying mantis dog?
All right, so that leads me into an interesting... someone posted a question. It was Trey from Chattanooga.
Hi, Trey from Chattanooga.
Hey, Trey.
So there's a question for Robby. He posed it for us, but since you're
gonna make me look silly here.
Since you're opening a facility,
I'm
hoping that even if you don't have an answer for this, maybe we should work through this anyway.
Okay.
How do you appeal and market the CrossFit philosophy to the average Globo Gym member? How do you convince women that it won't make them big? That's a main concern with female students here in Chattanooga, is that they say that they want to be toned and not nasty.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Thank you, Trey.
Really? Toned and not nasty.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
is there a level of tone that's not nasty? Or that is nasty?
I don't know. I only want nasty girls at my gym.
I'm a huge fan of nasty.
I think the Globo Gym person is when I say target, the easiest target in America. One, you're not going to get anyone to come into a CrossFit gym that's happy with what they're doing. This is just my opinion. So like my buddy, who I love dearly, who's a great distance runner, that's what he wants to do. His whole training and everything, his life's built around it. He loves it. He's not going to come CrossFit.
He knows he's not so powerful and not so explosive, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, he can run a 2:30-something marathon. He's happy. That's what he wants to do. So those people are off the table. If someone's going to Globo Gym,
is that impressive? Is that a good time? I have no idea.
It's pretty fast.
I think that's a really good insight. I think a lot of people, including myself, have thought about, like, how do we get those people?
Well, but
that's an untapped market. Like, I felt like when I first started my gym, I was like, man, we really need to go after those people because they're competitive.
and they're all not the physical stuff either, but they're also in it for the solitude and restoration that the road provides.
The zen of the running.
They want the repetition. They want the isolation.
But for everybody like that, and I know this coming from James is just fed up and leaving now. He's like, fuck this guy.
Fuck this answer.
Yeah. I've always hated him.
He's pulling a Doug.
Hey, bring a flashlight. Here's what I think. There are tons of unsatisfied people because I know them. The people that go, gosh, we were talking about it earlier. I've done everything I possibly can to lose weight. How do you stay so small? Or I've had guys ask me, in this crowd, I'm a weak little guy. I'm trying to throw it out the window, Mike. Just please help me work with that. But I'm the smaller, weaker guy. But I'm really not that weak for a guy my size and age. And so guys outside of CrossFit will go, oh, man, I can't believe you can deadlift whatever I can deadlift.
What can you deadlift?
And I can deadlift 375.
Ooh,
before I started this weight gain thing,
so that's a good deadlift.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's over double body weight.
Yeah, 2.5. That was always my well. It's not 2.5 anymore. Trey from Chattanooga will
more than
text
likely.
back in. Yeah, okay, that's not 2.5. But either way, those people I think are the targets to say, look, I know you go to the Globo Gym all the time, right? Yeah, I do. I go 5 times a week, whatever it is. Great. How long have you gone? Oh, I've gone for years. Awesome. Are you happy with the results? Do you like the way you look when you take your shirt off?
Not really.
Do you feel strong?
Has anything changed on any level ever during that time?
Yeah. And then I'm like, come work out. I had these guys that were coming to my backyard. I have a
backyard gym.
I have a backyard. I took the dimensions off Rogue's website and had a caster rig built in my backyard. Which is awesome. So suddenly, some of my neighbors would start coming over and saying, "What are you doing back there, dude?" And then someone would come over and start working out.
Weirdo Robby again.
Yeah, it's like I'm doing back there.
Fitness is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't have time to talk to you.
I'm a damn ninja.
Yeah,
watch me in the rings.
That my mother saw me doing a little video on the rings of something that is really not all that difficult. But immediately, it's that phone call. You really need to put a big mat underneath you. You're going to get hurt, Robby. You're not as young as you once were.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Tell them the story about your mom and she saw a picture of you with the...
Dude, when I first got into CrossFit, this is awesome. The place I started, and now all these places, they take pictures of you or whatever. So when I very first started, which actually is 2 years to the day tomorrow, I went and I couldn't barely run 400 meters. Literally, I'd get to the post that was the turnaround. I'd stop and I'd say, I'm going to count to 5.
Were you a cyclist before CrossFit?
Not directly before. I was a serious cyclist for many years, and then I was a serious. I think we alluded to the fact that I was a serious drinker for several years, and so then I wanted to get back.
So does drinking affect your fitness? I'm confused.
It did. Oddly enough, I wasn't fit. I was a very good drinker, though.
Alcoholism doesn't support fitness.
It does not. It did not seem that way based on where I was at March 7th, 2010.
I don't have all the data, but I'm pretty sure.
Do you have science behind that?
I can find some.
I don't believe anything unless there's research.
Yeah, double blind. If you drink enough whiskey, you are double blind. So anyway, I was in terrible shape. So after a while, I said I'm gonna do 100 workouts before I quit this thing because I hate myself. And I'd go and these.
You can do 100 before you quit CrossFit.
Before I quit CrossFit,
not consecutively.
No.
Okay.
Like I'd have to go.
I'm gonna
100
start with
times.
Angie. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do what's the other ones? Cindy. And then I'm gonna do
right through the alphabet.
Right.
I'll tell you about what my first WOD was. I came back from running this. The 400 was part of a warm up. Then you came back and it was you had to do heavy thrusters. For me, that was 75 pounds that day. Is what they said. That's what you should do. You had to do 50 thrusters. And every minute you had to stop and do 5 burpees. Okay. Now just the other day, CrossFitters out there, I did 120 burpees. I was so excited. So I'm not bad at burpees now. That day, I got to the point where I was having problems in the minute doing the 5 burpees. And at 25 minutes, I'd done 43 thrusters. And they said, okay, it's time to stop. So that's where I started. And after a little while, the story Chris wants me to tell, which was funny, or CTP, they take some pictures, and I had gone in one day, and this guy that was there, whatever, we're like, we'll do this workout with a weight vest on. So this guy got a really cool picture of me, and I've got this kettlebell over my head, I've got a weight vest on, I've got a vein in my arm you can see, and I'm like, man, I got this look on my face, I'm like, damn, that's awesome. Well, in the background, they have an American flag hanging, So I take this picture, and I kind of crop it down, and I put it on my Facebook, because that's what you do. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking just a kick-ass motherfucker.
I got 5 likes.
So yeah, and 3D friends.
I think this is before Facebook.
2 of them
likes.
were chicks.
So yeah, so my brother shows it to my parents, and my mom calls me, and I'm not thinking like she has no idea. She's like plays tennis, and this is
Robby. I saw you.
She's like,
swinging the kettlebell.
No, she doesn't know what it is. She's like, I see this. Michael showed me this picture. That's my brother. When you're standing there's the American flag, and is that like a bomb vest? And what you couldn't.
Well, she's not the first person to confuse a weight vest with a bomb device.
Yeah. So I had this super deflating moment, where mom calls, and I'm like, "Oh, you saw the picture? Pretty badass, right?" And she's like, "Are you a terrorist now? What became of you?"
You joined some sort of militia.
I'm the terrorist that goes over there and bombs them.
Well, she's like, what is this CrossFit? I don't know. I just need to understand what you're doing. I'm like, oh, God.
And that's why people think it's a cult.
It is.
Right there.
Yeah,
right.
There it is.
So what did you tell her? Was everything okay? Did she get it now?
She kind of gets it now. She's like, why do you do that? Why don't you find a nice girl?
Make that your hobby.
Yeah.
I think we hit half a Trey's question.
Well, the thing with the globe.
There was a question.
Where the hell is Doug?
Okay, Trey, we're gonna retrack.
Sorry, for the next few episodes, you're gonna find that we get off track.
Look, the Globo guy needs
guy
results, and when you expose the opportunity for him to get results, and he starts seeing them, then it's pretty easy to hook him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's the issue of how do you communicate what can be offered to the average female?
Look, guys
and girls. It's a basket
girls.
case when it comes to issues of muscle.
They're all terrified of gaining weight.
But men and women, and I know this professionally because I work with all women, and I
you
deal
have a
with
keen
women's
insights into the female mind.
Maybe I do. At
Tell
first,
us what you know, Robby.
Tell me everything.
The thing is,
what's the deal?
Not all, but most women. They don't care. They don't want to be ninjas. They don't want to be special. All the things that guys, when you're like Navy SEALs,
want to be jacked. And
women don't want to hear any of that. They want to have fun. They want to be encouraged.
Girls just want to have fun.
They want to see results.
Hugs.
And they
want cute shoes and CrossFit socks that match the shoes.
That part of culturally, no offense over there.
You like
Hold on.
What's that say about CTP?
CTP loves the socks, which they're pretty stylish. I like them.
You got flavor, son.
Mad.
I just think a lot of people approach women wrong, and instead of you get some jacked up guy who goes, you shouldn't care whether you get big or not. Strong, sexy. They don't fucking want to hear that, and it's not necessarily true. If they want. Some of these people, men included, hey, I've got 4 hours a week and I want to do something other than sit on my ass. So you can confront them and say, well, you're not doing enough. And man, Doug and I actually, if he were here, had this conversation the other day. oh man, your squat isn't perfectly below parallel. Your knees aren't wide enough. You're this, you're that. Would you rather have the dude at a CrossFit gym trying to, make the most of what he's doing, have fun doing it, get the constant variation, as opposed to just wandering around a Globo gym or doing nothing? My answer is yes. If he's not picture perfect, that's okay. You can work on it. A lot of these women that come into the same way, I've got 3 or 4 hours a week to give to this, and I don't want to be the next
CrossFit Games competitor.
Yeah, I don't want to be Annie Thor's daughter. Sure. And that's nothing against Annie.
Sure.
It's just, hey, this is fitness for me, and I'm not going to go home and eat a bunch so that I can rack jerk more.
So how do you get those women to actually even come in and try it out?
I think they'll come in.
What's your 3 bullet point pitch?
My thing is get them to come in.
How do you do that?
Yeah, why? What? If I'm a potential female client?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's role play.
James, you're an overweight young woman, and you're tired of the Globo gym. And James is the purveyor
can you hug me first?
CrossFit Chickasaw. And you've come in. Hey, I'm James.
Maybe you should do this, Chris. You're
really
you're doing pretty good.
Didn't I talk to you at 1-900?
I recognize this voice.
I just want to get toned.
I mean, I would come. Look, we have classes. No,
look,
we have classes 7 days a week
Except
at CrossFit Chickasaw. So come. What day can you come? What days do you normally work out?
I just like to walk on the treadmill.
Okay, well, what day do you walk on the treadmill?
Whatever.
I'll do this, James.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're such a bad faux
sort
woman.
of like, maybe like Sunday or Wednesday.
Okay, Sunday's awesome. What about we
Chris, that's
have
pretty good.
We have a class at 1:00. We have open gym at noon. I'm gonna be.
I can't do 1. I have class
on Sunday.
No.
I'm getting my nails done then.
Okay.
Look,
what am I going to do?
Let's just find an hour that you want to come, right?
Yeah.
Where your athletic stuff, you don't have to worry about bringing anything else.
Yeah.
And
okay, so you got the time locked down.
Yeah.
What next? Or is that half the battle?
When they come to the gym, all I want to do is some fun stuff. Because this, and I do it with a guy too, but a guy I might have a little bit
less clothing.
Well, I think the key is you don't want to do anything you get them in the gym. The first exposure to whatever you're going to prescribe, don't make it anything that will be humiliating or humbling, right? Don't show them how
or something that's so obscene. What I don't want to do is pull out an 88-pound kettlebell and show them how I can kettlebell snatch in both arms. Yeah.
Rip your shirt off.
I would say that the first thing that women don't care about is
Blair heavy metal.
What you can do.
Yeah.
Or they don't even give a shit about your background or what you know.
Okay, and another thing
that'll save the teenagers in the audience a lot of years. No one gives a shit what you bench.
Yeah.
Girls don't care.
Hey, you want to know how many pull-ups I can do? A lot. And I don't want to overgeneralize. There are a lot of women that have a strong fitness background that know more about this kind of stuff than I do. Those people I'd approach differently. But we're talking about
your average,
your
gym
stereotypical.
goer.
Yeah. I'd want them to come in. I'd get some sense of what their background is. At some point in their life, maybe they've run. They've tried a triathlon. They did gymnastics. Even if it was when I was 8, I went and did, okay. So now I've got something that you're a little bit comfortable with. So let's create a short little warm-up that might involve something that's gymnastic that makes you comfortable to go, look, CrossFit isn't about heavy kettlebells and rack jerks and whatever that these people bring up. And it's not just for Navy SEALs. It's, hey, this can be fun. Let's pull down a pair of rings and we'll do some skin the cats. And hopefully they're like, that was fun. I can do that, And then you kind of go from there. I think if you immediately say, that's not a clean, pick that bar back up,
Yeah, warm, inviting, have them have a good time.
Absolutely.
Have them excited to come back and try something else, maybe a little bit harder and a little bit more interesting next time around.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty soon they get hooked to that sensation and they start slowly assimilating it into a lifestyle. And that's when you actually make some sort of big change.
I know for our gym, the fundamentals class, which you guys have created, it's way different than when I first joined, and it's all about fun. CTP does a great job at getting people excited and having a good time and all that.
CTP, who's a CrossFit level 1 certified.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Look at this guy.
Which he did. I think he aced the exam, something like that.
Really?
I think so. He's a smart guy.
Oh, big arms.
But
that's what happens when you study at Faction.
Under the tutelage of Michael Bledsoe. And
well,
Doug
not
Larson.
only that, Chris attended a course we had for prepping coaches
and he also has a degree in exercise physiology, sports science.
Yeah, helping human performance.
There you go.
And to pay a compliment and not to overly indulge Chris while he's here, one thing he does that I think is good is he's a real person. He's very accessible. I think those people tend to be a better entryway for new people that aren't super fit. You get someone that has some athleticism, some fitness already. They come in, and maybe what really would help them want to do CrossFit is, let me pick the biggest, strongest, fastest moose in the gym, and they go, oh, dude, okay, I want to come in and work out. Right. For regular people, Chris is very accessible. He seems like a normal guy, and you're like, he's pretty fit. Okay, well, he's in here doing this, so this isn't just for whatever, ninjas and whatever else. And he's also not, cut out of stone like some of these really big guys, because I'd see those guys and I'd be like, oh, I don't know that I'm ever going to get there.
What are you saying about Chris? Are you saying he's not?
Well, but also when he works out, he can do a lot of stuff. So it's like, hey, I don't necessarily have to be,
Chris,
Lou Ferrigno.
You're not cut out of stone.
Chris, you need to start eating like
popcorn and spray.
Start eating like a man.
Try it, man. It's delicious.
Except I put ketchup on my popcorn.
You put ketchup on popcorn?
Well,
the ketchup with the high fructose corn syrup.
That's a whole other podcast right there, son.
I love that stuff.
No, but I agree. Just to jump in here real quick, I think what you basically just said about me can be applied to how CrossFit as HQ, as headquarters, as they market in their commercials and stuff. I think they're really missing the ball on. It's great that you have these games athletes and you have these people who are awesome.
Right.
But to me, anyway, the beauty of CrossFit is what you're saying. Like, oh, shit, check this person out. Old, not super athletic looking from the front end. And there he is snatching some awesome weight or doing something really cool. Yeah. And I think that they kind of miss on that.
It has a little bit. There's a commercial that have a little bit of an elitist extreme.
Well, the one where
we're gonna go train at the top of the Empire State Building because it doesn't matter where you train.
You can work out anywhere,
just so long as you have all this equipment.
Right.
And Reebok zigzags
and muscles like Rich.
Yeah.
All right, I got another question for you. So
actually, before we do that, I think the producer CTP is telling us we need to take a short break.
Let's take a break.
Yep.
Break is all.
Take.
All right. Peace out.
Am I getting paid for a break?
this. Mine
Kadafi!
Mine probably needs a charge.
Did you say Kadafi?
Yours full?
This is mine.
Kadafi!
You watch Tosh.0?
No.
He coined. What you do is you take an object and you shove it up your friend's ass, and as you shove it up your friend's ass, you have to scream Kadafi.
What? Wow.
So, it's called the Kadafi. Kadafi! So he had like a shitload of people submit videos of them doing that.
Well, he did the ball slap pie.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
Yeah, like
pie ball
pie in the
slap?
face. Yeah, like hit him in the face with a pie, slap him in the face, punch him in the.
We need our sleep.
Yeah. I need mine. I'm doing 12.3 Thursday morning. I'm nervous about it because no one knows what it is.
Serious athletes getting 54 reps on 12.2.
What is 12?
Hey, I got 60 reps.
2012.
I'm talking about this guy.
Well,
So like last year it was
that's crazy.
11.1,
He's the
2,
one
3.
that's worried about the time.
Oh, 12.1. Give us your
Do you
20
have
bucks.
a-
Blah, blah, blah.
Cheney, do you have a certain female that you must attend to this evening or something?
No.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
describe to what that would mean if he did have to attend to her? What? Be descriptive.
What
I
are you
live alone.
what are you implying?
What's in my mind or what's in his mind?
Yeah.
I've
Can we talk about this on the podcast?
I've got
Live
What?
vicariously through
No.
James Cheney.
Yeah, James, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Nah, that's good.
Uh,
Although at some point, okay, so
I got more questions.
okay. At some point, we need to talk about the Arnold. Just a little bit about the sights and sounds and what happened and whatnot. So
I was not at the Arnold.
we were at the Arnold, and we're going to tell you because
Sure.
it was
We'll
something
We'll
else.
cover these questions real quick, okay?
Are we recording?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Well, hello. Welcome
yeah,
the
yeah.
audience back from the break.
Barbell Shrugged.
Go for it, Chris.
Welcome back to Barbell Shrugged.
We don't even know what episode we're on anymore.
Episode 12-teen.
All right, I'm Mike Bledsoe.
12.5.
Mike Bledsoe here with Chris Moore, James
Hello.
Cheney, and Robby Froning. We're gonna get back to a few questions that were submitted via the Twitters. Again, let's see what question we got now.
Yeah, Vaughn asked some questions
Did he?
Is there some
on
point?
Facebook.
I admit I don't really watch this show because I've got better things to do. Is there like a speed round? Is there a speed
that's a problem
round
right there.
or
No speed
or
round.
anything?
No gimmicks.
There's no
No.
gimmicks on
Just
the show.
bros hanging out, man.
That's what it is.
Bro studies.
I'm sorry. I
So,
digress.
what is the best model for eating paleo on a limited budget when items such as grass-fed beef is a little out of college kids' price range?
Super easy, I think. I mean, you don't think so?
No, I want to hear it.
I think fruits and vegetables and nuts really aren't all that expensive, especially if you shop around.
Good, easy way.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're in
yeah,
Memphis,
easy way is
Where-
fantastic.
Wherever you're at
you're in
in the
Memphis-
world, if you
Or
look around,
a local farmer's market is probably pretty reasonable.
yeah, and you can get a tremendous amount of quantity. And when it comes to fish or meat, I think if you look around, you might not be able to afford grass-fed beef. Maybe you can find a resource that is more affordable depending on what city you live in.
This is what I find. Whole Foods,
Yeah,
it's only $1 more a pound for grass-fed beef.
I was just gonna say, if you're feeding a family of 5 and you want to eat fillets every night, you got an issue.
See, I love Whole Foods, but every time I walk in there, it just feels expensive. It's like
Well, you're just a
Maybe not
cheap
hippie enough.
bastard. No, it's not.
This
It's
is true.
You're either not rich enough or you're not hippie enough to be in there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Go
that's
without
what
a
it
few
is.
showers and go back in there. So you feel.
No, I was.
actually, I might fit right in.
Make sure to be barefoot.
No, I agree. I think fresh greens are almost free.
Yeah.
They grow like weeds.
And
Yeah, I mean,
there's
of all
grass everywhere. You just people
Well,
know
like,
their lawns
kale,
all the
you-
time.
Well, look, if you want to
grass.
get down to it, you could just plant kale in your backyard. It'll grow like a weed for real.
Yeah, it will.
But of the seeds, maybe you can't afford the highest quality nuts or seeds, but there's all kinds of seeds that are plenty reasonable. Nut butters are pretty reasonable.
Well, honestly, unless you're trying to gain weight, it's not that necessary to be eating a lot of nuts. There should be enough fat in your meat.
Plus, I mean, even
I agree.
every college kid probably still carves out X bucks every Thursday or Friday night to go drink some beers and hang out and buy pizza. I
Well,
mean,
even if-
you're spending money somewhere. You
Yeah,
could take
I've-
some of that.
I don't know how many times I've had college students be like, "Oh, I can't afford CrossFit fees," but
They have
I met them.
iPhones
I
and-
met them at the bar.
Yeah.
And they were drinking.
Besides
$7
Trey,
beers. You know what I mean?
besides Trey, this brings up an interesting point. How many college-aged people? I mean, it doesn't seem like a very big market for CrossFit.
Your gym will be really close to University of Memphis.
Yeah, my honest feeling about college kids.
Are you going to be targeting college kids at all?
Most of them don't care about that. They care about doing some bicep curls before spring break, and how much their bench is. Most of them.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it'll change, but I think kids in college are either partying. Well, one, you have serious collegiate athletes. They're playing a sport. They're doing...
That's a different thing.
Yeah, all their training is revolving around that. Then you have some recreational, maybe they play a club sport or whatever, they love tennis. They're taking something that they were doing in high school that they're not pursuing at a college level, and they're doing that. Or they're partying like crazy. And right now, I just don't feel like that's the CrossFit person. My experience with CrossFit is more you get kind of ex-athletes that get really turned on to CrossFit because they used to be competitive and they like this. I can go in and, man, I got James on 12.2. Dun, dun, dun.
Just wait till 12.3.
Damn it.
I don't
but,
know.
it's friendly competition against people. You kind of, get that outlet. You get people that are in terrible shape and they love CrossFit because what we were talking about on the break was if you give it 6 weeks to 6 months, they will see changes. So you get these out-of-shape people, regardless of their background, that see this big change.
Did anyone else see that picture of
Richard?
Yeah, of Richard, a member at our gym.
Tell our audience who Richard is.
Tell our audience who Richard is.
I don't know who Richard is. I'm your audience here too.
Della and Richard.
Yeah, I mean, I know who he is. But, what do you want me to say about him?
I know that guy.
He's an older dude.
Oh, yeah. So he's old. I don't know how old he is, but he's got to be in his mid-50s.
I don't have his bio memorized. Shit.
Okay, we got it. Is he like mid-50s, maybe? Yeah. So, yeah, something like that.
He has a little gray hair, beard.
Yeah, but anyway,
he could be describing me.
He posted on Facebook, he posted a photo. It was like a three photo progression of, like shirt off kind of a thing, like you see in the muscle match. But dang, it was crazy for like a guy in his mid-50s who who's got serious definition.
He's
and
the kind of guy
muscle and
he's the kind of guy that's dedicated. You say, hey, try this out, and he'll do it. Like, hey, why don't you eat paleo for 2 weeks? He can do it,
and he'll do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's attractive because people they get results.
They
and
see
they
the change.
It takes a little bit of maturity to see the value in that lifestyle.
I don't see a lot of college kids embracing CrossFit.
So you don't see them embracing the paleo.
I think it's hard. The other thing with college kids and
it's
saying
no harder
I can't
than
afford,
anywhere else. I mean,
me and James are both in college when we started CrossFit.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know this, but I feel like most of the people I know who CrossFit are not in college, and I have not seen like a lot of boxes that are like, hey, we're CrossFit Roads, or it's a college here in Memphis, or something, and it's all students. And that's not to say that students don't do it, but it seems to me
they're harder
now,
to come by.
Yeah, they're a little harder to come by.
It's more of like a 30-year-old type. Yeah.
There seem to be a lot of 20s,
age.
30s. Yeah.
Well, why pay a membership at a CrossFit box when you've got the university gym when you can do bicep curls and bench press? That's all. That's all the chicks care about.
I don't know
anyway.
about anyone else. When I was 20, if I wanted to go get rid of some athletic, competitiveness. I mean, you could go play basketball, you could play baseball, you could play soccer. There are all these things going on. And you don't look that bad yet. When you're 20, even when you're out of shape and you're like, man, I'm getting a little fat, it's not that bad.
You're still young.
Yeah, you put 10 years on that, and suddenly you're like, I look like fat
have
Elvis.
Sex with me.
Yeah. Is that why no one will have sex with me?
Well, that's why I started crossfitting. I couldn't get laid.
Wow.
So we have any questions from Vaughn?
Yeah, Vaughn was asking about. Let me just pull it up here.
Way to not be prepared.
Well,
this guy's got
this guy's
got a fucking password on his iPhone. Don't let anyone get a hold of it.
Here we go. Vaughn asks, he says, what about advice on convincing people to lay off the grains? People who are interested in your CrossFit gym but spend hours doing cardio and think they need grains.
The endurance athlete.
And this is
that's your typical endurance athlete.
Yeah, and
lots
I think
of
it's
pasta,
an easy
rice.
Most people don't know the difference. So you kind of have to get into a challenge mode of like, hey, let's talk about how much grain you're actually eating. And then, because some people it's not really that much, but other people are like, hey, I eat pasta 64 times, a week, yada yada. I mean, it's crazy. Some people at every meal are eating bread, pasta.
Or they do the microwave spaghetti meals, like the Smart Choice microwave spaghetti with meatball sauce, and they sit at their desk.
The ready-made lasagna.
Yeah, and it tastes good. Let me tell you, I miss a good lasagna. I mean, but I always confront those people and just say, look, you give it a couple weeks.
Well, what about the endurance athlete that thinks they need those extra carbs?
I would tell you that I was
stopping an endurance athlete.
Yeah,
Two,
I would define what those people are actually doing, and I would explain to them that probably, unless they're routinely training for more than 90 consecutive minutes a day, so like if you're a runner, if you're running, 14 miles a day or more, or if you're a cyclist and you're doing.
If you're at stage 8 of the Tour de France.
Well, if you're at stage 8 of the Tour de France, you need an unbelievable amount of calories. But they're not. It's the same thing. It's the same mentality people have, and they go, I saw Rich Froning, and he said it was his 8th workout. Well, you don't do that. So let's forget about Rich. Let's forget about what Lance Armstrong does in the Tour de France.
One other thing, too, is like if you're doing super long, well, you might need to do some glycogen replenishment after you train, super high intensity for a decent duration. Well, but most of these people aren't doing super high intensity work.
A lot of it is probably mimicking. They see, I saw Lance Armstrong eats 5 bowls of pasta. Look how good he is. So I gotta eat pasta.
And then
the same reason why some guy who's riding a bike around your neighborhood is wearing a fucking competitive bike outfit.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? Why are you wearing a shiny shirt on a Saturday afternoon?
Aerodynamics.
You're denying capitalism because Lance Armstrong's wearing the stuff because someone pays him to do it so they can sell it to mooks like you and me. The same way that we talk about these CrossFit superstars. I mean, you have on a Reebok shirt because Reebok has all the stuff and they want me to buy some.
It was also given to us at the regional.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm
James is
a pro athlete.
I'm a regional athlete.
You are not a tool.
I had to throw that out there, didn't you?
Everyone else is except me.
Maybe you don't know this, but we kind of work for Reebok now.
Oh man.
Let's keep that on the DL.
I just think you show these people they're really not doing the volume that's necessary, and then you give them some alternatives, and you probably offer them a little bit of reading advice.
You know what I think the person that Vaughn is referring to is somebody who has it in their mind, the paradigm of fitness. What they think is, I want to get in shape. What am I going to do? I'm going to run. This actually didn't really exist until, I want to say, like the
70s.
Mid-70s.
Yeah.
Nike really...
Running as a sport.
Yeah, Nike invented the running shoe.
That, yeah.
It could be jogging. I'm not sure.
I'm going for jog.
But yeah, it was a campaign they did. They invented the sport of running or jogging for recreation and health and fitness. And I think a lot of people still think, if I want to get in shape, I should go run.
It's a damn effective marketing strategy.
And honestly, I don't disagree. If you want to be in shape, you should run a little bit.
There's
lots of other things to do.
Should I run 5 to 10 miles 4 times a week?
Look, here's what I say. Did you go to college? You did. Okay. What did you major in? I was a finance major. I don't know. Whatever the hell they tell me. Okay, great. So you only took finance courses. Oh, no. I mean, I went to, everyone gets puffed up. I went to the University of wherever. And then we took history. It was very hard. To get into the business school at XYZ University, I had to take all these hard classes and all these weird topics.
So you had to dabble.
Yeah. So you had to learn a lot of different things to challenge yourself to make you a better financier. Well, of course. It's very hard. Well, fitness is very hard. Let's get the light bulb to go off over your head. Running is one dimension, and it's something you should try. If you can't run at all, that's an issue.
But you shouldn't be a one-trick pony.
No, you need to try lots of other stuff. Unless, of course, your only true passion is running, in which case you should really have a big running bias.
Or squatting 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Squatting 1,000 pounds is a huge deal.
Yeah,
I never quite got
it's awesome.
I got the 975.
I mean, shit. But
yeah. I was not a 1,000-pound squat. I didn't do it. I'd never got there.
I squatted 975 pounds today, too. One little pound at a time.
But yeah, I still think though a lot of people have this idea in their head, and it's going to take time for that to shift. If I want to be in shape, I need to run.
Here's the other thing is if you really have an aggressive person, and this doesn't always work, but you can get, and this is a Greg Glassman thing, you can get into this deal. Okay, you're a great runner. Well, let's go run. Okay, let's run a 5K tomorrow. Hopefully dude is not, running a 16-minute 5K, but if he or she is, well, then they're a pretty good runner, and maybe you leave them alone. But otherwise, you go, hey, you might be a little bit faster than I am in a 5K. I think you took a minute out of me there. Now let's go lift. Let's go do some box jumps. Let's go row a little bit. I mean, pick your poison. And then you kind of confront those people like, here's some alternative things, maybe you can do, because I can almost run as fast as you can, but I can also,
do all these other cool things.
I can also deadlift 400 pounds.
Yeah. So what's another question?
He was talking about... let me see here. What kind of program would you put a teenage athlete on? Regular CrossFit classes or a strength program in the off season? What about a 5-year-old?
A 5-year-old?
5-year-old, go out and play.
Yeah, here's a ball.
Max effort. Good morning.
With a 5-year-old, actually,
when Bledsoe has little Bledsoes running around, what are you going to be?
When there's a 5-year-old Bledsoe running around naked,
I will be locking my doors.
I will probably have them enrolled in gymnastics class, actually. I could see them being swimming and gymnastics, and that's probably what they'll be doing.
Light swimming. Let me tell you something, okay? When I was, trying to get better at swimming, and I would go to, I would go to the pool, and I would see the swim team. It was like the university swim. It was like it was for kids. It was like high school.
It's the club team.
Yeah, it's the club team. Okay, so these are high school down to middle school, early middle school.
Yeah.
It's like freaking child abuse, okay? It is unbelievable what these kids do. Now, maybe it's no big deal to them.
Okay, you've struck a nerve with me, because I was a competitive swimmer from like 5 years old to 18, and swimming is one of those places that is notorious for, in my opinion, terrible training philosophy and terrible coaching.
Well, it's
coaches are like, swim until you die.
Sure, volume.
I think there's a shift happening in the swimming community.
With some of the smarter people out there, and I think there has been for a while.
And by the time I have a kid at 5 years old, I think that
the world will be a different place.
You're optimised.
Well, I can coach swimming, so there you go.
I just think that's
stupid
one
sport.
of those...
I can master it like that.
Well, I used to be a swimmer too, so.
Well, you're lying.
No, not lying.
Were you athletic? Because you really don't look athletic to me.
Well, you don't have to be athletic to be a swimmer, first off.
Oh! Boom! Do you have a pool here? I want to go and swim off.
A shitload of swimmers. You got them out of the water, and they can barely walk.
Yeah.
They were a fish out of water.
That's why they're not allowed to run on the pool deck. They'll fucking fall on their face.
Yeah, it's true. Swimming is all about efficiency anyway. About being lazy in the water. That's how you be fast. So.
I mean, running's all about efficiency too. It's not about who can run harder. I would say anything. I'd say CrossFit. The whole open thing that's amazing to me is these people, want to do they want to do burpees hard, and I'm like, no. I was visiting a box, and there's some great people there. Yeah, I was like, take your time. Do you think you're gonna do 35 burpees a minute for 7 minutes? What if I said let's run a 5K? Would you run out the door at your 100-meter dash pace? Yeah. Absolutely not. And they go, no, of course not. I'm not an idiot. But, okay.
Same thing goes if you're doing like a rep bench test for if you're a high school football player.
Oh yeah.
I always said do each one as lazy as possible.
You gotta close your eyes.
I did.
Yeah. I got that advice from you.
I
don't do bench press tests. But anyways, go ahead.
Close your eyes and do each rep as lazily as possible. And you could probably add 10 reps to your max.
In bike racing, which is my background, you do these long events, for hours sometimes. And the conversation that you would have with your teammates is like, when do we want to start racing? This is going to take 4 hours. We're not racing for 4 hours. We want to race.
You have highs and lows.
Well, no, not even that. We want to race the last 30 Ks of this race. So, I don't know how long that is. It's an hour, 45 minutes. Okay, so in between... 0 and 30 Ks to go, we're going to do as little as possible to get to that point, because you're not going to start, it's like the Pee Wee Herman movie, where he's riding super fast. That's not the way it works. It's like, how little energy can you do so that 4 hours from now, I have way more energy than you do.
Fuel in the tank.
Yeah. I guarantee you that there are tons of club racers in America that could take Lance Armstrong to the cleaners, you know, in the first 5 kilometers of lots of things.
But he's got the long view.
Dude, what that guy can do after 5 hours, after 5 days is like
not off the drugs. He can't.
Well, he didn't take drugs.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with drugs?
And I've got a bridge to sell you. Just about to go somewhere.
What was the rest of the question?
So he was
5-year-old
asking,
teenagers?
Teenager, 5-year-old.
I think teenagers should be playing sports. I mean, if you're a teenage kid, if you're not at risk, so if you're a teenage kid and you've got an obesity problem.
This is where I disagree.
What? Okay.
No,
if you have an obesity problem,
which is like 75% of all teenagers.
It's a lot. It's more than it used to be.
I've got an opinion about it too. Okay.
I think that you should be playing different sports and having fun until you're probably 16, 17 years old. And then you can start thinking about training, unless you're one of those few truly gifted kids that you come across and go, wow, there's a kid that graduated from my high school. When he was a freshman, he ran a sub 15-minute 5K.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, and you kind of go, okay, he's
maybe
14 years old. Yeah, maybe we should, like really challenge this guy because he's unusual. For everyone else, that's just my opinion.
Here's my opinion on this, is that most coaches of sports, football coaches, baseball coaches, swim coaches, whatever, they're all very focused on just that sport, and they never worry about the general physical preparedness or the general physical fitness of the individual athlete. They get very specialized, right? So every time you go to practice, you're practicing just that sport. And then the parent who wants their kid to go play in college, right? They take their kid to a personal trainer or something like that and say, hey, I want you to train my kid to be a baseball player. And so what the parent wants to hear is, I'm going to build this super awesome baseball-specific, strength-specific baseball program for your kid. And instead of just telling them what they want to hear and giving them what they need, what they do is they tell them what they want to hear, and then they deliver on what they wanted to hear too. So what ends up happening is you got a personal trainer having this kid who is out of shape doing sport-specific strength training. All right?
Well, which makes no sense to me. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking about
he's saying it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
All that noise you're hearing, that is Chris fiddling with Robbie's.
Well, what happened is
microphone.
Robbie has been sitting down for so long. He finally decided
are just locked up.
And now we've come full circle.
That's exactly right.
So, I think, and then what ends up happening is these kids get this sport-specific training that doesn't get them in any more shape. Your microphone just went flaccid. All right. It doesn't get them in any more shape.
It's listening to you.
And what ends up happening is they see a 10% increase on their. They see a 10% increase on their, in their sport, not from increased athleticism. When they really should be doing is trying to increase their GPP, the general physical preparedness, and raising the potential for what they can reach one day. And just by generally improving their athleticism. The whole point of strength training and like stuff like that is to make you a better athlete, not to make you a better football player, not a better baseball player, not a better swimmer, not a better fighter. It's to make you more athletic. And what ends up happening when they do this sport-specific training, I don't know how many. I could probably think of the number. I'm running into so many high school kids that come in that are not in good shape, who've been getting the sport-specific training, and then once you start getting them in any kind of shape whatsoever, they skyrocket in their sport. They do really, really well.
Because you have increased their athleticism? Is that what you're saying?
They're just better athletes. And they've never been taught how to be a better athlete. They've only begun these, these personal trainers that find these sport-specific whatever.
I think a lot of that's cultural, where they go, little Billy's going to be a baseball player, and then he gets immersed in baseball and baseball and baseball, and that becomes, you've got this.
It's really the parents' fault because they're pushing the trainers and coaches, and the coaches are going, well, that's the market. That's what I'll do. You got these kids running these silly little things over at, I won't name the gym, where they do speed and agility. And we even had I've had a couple guys that were in the NFL. This specific gym shut down. It's a franchise.
Yeah.
Shut down area, and he was wanting to see if we do speed and agility at our place. Well, yeah, we do speed and agility, but we also squat and do cleans, and he was like, oh, well, I'm here for speed and agility, not to get stronger. Like, why are you playing the NFL? I'm sorry. Like,
the thing that's dumbfounding to me is that, you know, any of these games that are sports that are fun and valid activities, but they're really, you know, narrow bands of what the human body can do, and anybody that thinks simply pursuing this little narrow band over time is going to yield, you know, a great physical specimen is crazy. And also, if you think the best way to be a good baseball player is just to play baseball, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. You need to experience different things. Billy needs to be doing more than just playing baseball, unless, of course, he's one of those really unique kids that's just a hell of a baseball player, and then you can focus on it more. But
was it this past year who won the World Series?
I don't know. Some of the best sleep I've ever had.
St. Louis, Chris. Who's the pitcher? He does CrossFit in the off season. He started a few years ago. I mean, he pretty much won he's one of the pitchers for the World Series.
Is this Coffee's friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you look,
he throws the ball and the guys try to hit with a bat and they can't, and then
he throws fast.
If you look at top athletes in any sport, we were talking about Lance Armstrong, you can talk about baseball players or NFL players, those guys do a ton of extra work that isn't just, hey, this is football, this is fitness, I think. I don't know what else to
that's
call
why
it.
they have an off season in which they're pursuing all those other things.
And this is where, go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, that's it. Okay, here's another sport that's way off the mark is surfing. Okay, Laird Hamilton, arguably one of the greatest surfers that has ever lived. He's a very, very in-shape guy.
Who would argue that point?
He's a big dude. Well, because he has never competed. He has never professionally competed in surfing.
Oh.
He pursues big waves as his own passion and as an art form and whatever. But anyway, he trains pretty hard. I mean, in the summertime, in the off season, he's training like crazy. So when the big waves come around in the wintertime, he's prepared to go anywhere and to meet that when it comes.
Yeah.
One group of people that kind of interests me is runners who, they use running to get in shape, and then they start competing in running and treating running like a sport. And running is just like any other sport. You need strength program, to help fill in the gaps of your fitness. And what ends up happening is they think that their running is their strength program, when if they were to just throw in squats twice a week, they would probably see a huge difference in their.
I think a lot of it's just the way that we market fitness. Unfortunately, CrossFit's a prime example. You can pick running. Everyone looks at the best runner in the world and says, well, this is what he or she does, and I'm going to follow that program. This is what I see Dan Bailey's doing, so I'm going to do that. I'm like, well,
yeah, I think
go live with Rich Froning.
Yeah, I'm
I gotta go live in Rich's upstairs.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If I'm gonna be one of the best,
that's exactly right.
The best strategy for anybody is to pick the lowest hanging fruit first. So a guy like Rich Froning he's at a very, very, very high level. Got a lot of things working in his favor. Has a lot of experience. But if you're starting out, you have to master the things within your reach. So you get some competency on form, on some basic exercises. And then look, if you can't drag a sled 50 feet or do a sprint or do a glute ham raise with good form or do a rope. Yeah. Well, but look, I mean, you don't need to worry about plyometrics or modes of periodization. You need to go from one glute ham raise to doing 5 sets of 10. Once you can do 5 sets of 10, or you can drag a sled, or you can do the sprint, or you can do that.
GHRs are hard.
You get in shape. You get in shape to lift or to compete.
Chris Moore wrote an excellent article that actually had a huge, I'm serious when I say this, a huge impact on me that was in the CrossFit Journal that talked about, and I was new to this, but I read it, and what I took away from it was, there's lots of complicated periodization.
I remember that article.
Yeah.
The P word.
Yeah, a lot of...
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
We read your stuff, Chris. Your work is not in vain.
But I did frame it and put it up in the lobby.
It is. And I read it, and the thing that I took away from that, and I say it all the time now, was that if you're making progress and you're seeing gains, you don't have to think too much harder about what you're doing. And that's not to say you shouldn't think about it, but instead of focusing on how do I create the ultimate, fitness package, well, if you're doing a pretty good basket of things and you're seeing improvements and gains, keep doing those things until you don't see them, and then make some changes.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. It's like,
well,
find what works and then stop doing it.
Yeah, well, but to me, it was really encouraging to hear someone that I thought, man, this guy's in the CrossFit Journal, and it seems like he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, well, and I was like, and he's basically saying, if you're seeing progress, be happy with that. You're seeing positive adaptation, well, keep doing it. And I was like, wow, at the course of the time, my positive adaptation is like, I can run the whole 400 meters now. It's tiring, but I get back to the garage door and then I can rest. But it was encouraging as opposed to like, I need to...
So for those of you out there, go to the CrossFit Journal, download the P Word by Chris Moore.
Great article. I couldn't recommend it more.
Are we any other questions over there?
No, what he was asking about, for kids and teenagers and whatnot. I just think the first step is just get off the couch. Cancel your cable.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I've canceled my DirecTV
Game of Thrones season 2.
How do you watch Downton Abbey?
Huh?
How do you watch Downton Abbey? I know that you're a PBS. I know that you're a PBS fan.
Oh.
You're so. I mean, CrossFit.
I haven't even thought about PBS in
a
couple decades.
What
since Sesame Street.
Well, that's a shame, man. It's good programming.
Yeah,
it's so good that people won't pay to watch it.
If you like what you hear and see, please give us money.
Is that how you guys are funded here? Do people make donations?
That's my thing. If it's so good, then why do you have to force me to do it? It's like Social Security. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Don't get off your high horse.
Please. I'm depending on that.
Good luck, buddy.
Oh, no.
I don't think anyone can save that at this point.
No.
So any...
guns and canned food.
I got some cat food for you.
Canned food. Canned food.
The old people eat cat food. You get another 30 years, right?
Let's make fun of the old guy here tonight. That's
all right,
fine.
so I want to bring up the Arnold Sports Festival because it happened just last weekend, and it was
trying to exclude me, aren't you?
No, I just want to tell you.
Have you ever been?
And everyone out there.
No.
You need to go. I think everyone should go.
Okay, as an outsider,
Rite of passage.
fill us out. Is Arnold an acronym for something? Why is it called the Arnold?
Because of
Arnold.
Arnold, yes.
You're serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the picture on James's wall.
I know you guys think
I was
that
within
everyone knows what the Arnold is.
Like 10 feet of him.
I've shaken his hand twice at the Arnold.
There you go.
When you shook his hand twice?
Shut up. I have shakenated his hand twice.
Oh no.
Man, talk about an entourage. That guy's got an entourage.
Dude, they all look like operators, man.
Oh no.
They all have no hair, just like you, Robbie. And Chris.
Hey. I used to be one of his guys, and then.
But
and then I stopped drinking.
I stopped drinking.
I used to think. I think one year, Doug. He's like, "Hey, we're going to the Arnold. You should think about going." I'm like, why would I want to go to that? It's a really interesting place. There's a lot of cool sports stuff that happened. I mean, the whole reason that I went...
It's everything under one roof.
Anything and everything.
How long have they done the Arnold?
And if you like
25 years.
Scantily clad fitness models everywhere.
Male or female?
Both.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, if you have some interest, it's going to be well represented there.
Yeah, they have
every fetish represented.
Huge muscular women, short petite women, something in between.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a spectacle.
They have kids, mixed martial arts. They have gymnastics and.
So I'm probably going the wrong route here, but as someone that knows nothing about the Arnold, what is the purpose of the Arnold?
It's a sports festival where
celebrating sports.
I'm not even sure what the.
Wars,
I'm not sure.
Is it like a trade show or people selling things?
That's a portion of it. There's like a lot of different aspects of it. You have the expo hall, which is where probably
vendors,
most people
exhibitors.
It's a lot of supplement companies giving out
famous
whatever.
MMA athletes, bodybuilders.
Well, they have all their
pitching something. This is what the chicks.
If you're a sponsored athlete, you're probably
yes.
in the expo hall behind a booth
representing your brand.
Okay.
Right.
A lot of shitty supplements being handed
Which,
out.
which let me tell you, Mike, how many people were at the Arnold this year?
I think it was 175,000.
175,000 people
Purchased tickets ahead of time, I think. So it might have been even more than that.
It took us. We went in. I went in the expo hall one time.
Don't give away my secret.
Which one? About your bicep curls?
About where we stay.
Oh,
don't put that on the.
Why would I tell them about the sweet apartment?
No!
Oh no!
No! Seriously, you have to edit that out. Because what's going to end up happening is some assholes will start searching.
They won't know where it is. Okay, anyway, it took like over an hour. It was like an hour and a half just to physically walk through, around, and out.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
How much does it cost to go in?
Like
$15 a day.
That's not bad. Okay.
No,
it's worth it.
Now,
8 hours of fun.
Now, that $15 will also get you into the giant CrossFit room, the weightlifting.
I just walked in.
Well, he had a camera and a Rogue T-shirt on, so
I did have. I had a totally legit rig this weekend, courtesy of Mike Bledsoe. I got to run a nice camera, and well, I'll just say the whole reason that I went, that I wanted to be there, was for weightlifting. It was the USAW Nationals, and as well as the Olympic trials for the women. And I'm currently in the process of making a documentary about weightlifting. And so I got a lot of great footage.
Ooh, so fancy.
So fancy.
I'm so bored. I'm gonna check my.
It's gonna be so good. Everyone's gonna want to see it.
Where can I see it?
It's not made yet. It's in the process of being made.
If you would like to
it's a dream.
Help fund it, there's a link on fitter.tv
for our Kickstarter campaign.
Yep, you can go on there and donate money to make it happen. Your donation does not just go unnoticed. There are certain levels of donations, you'll get something in return. So
a mystery something we don't know.
It's listed on the site.
Right.
So like if you donate X amount of dollars, you might get good karma.
Here's
wow.
Okay, so here's the thing. CrossFit introduced me to the snatch and the clean and jerk. Robby is giggling.
So many things you could, CrossFit,
like a 15-year-old.
CrossFit introduced me to snatch too.
Which is one of the great things about CrossFit.
That explains a lot.
It is why many in the weightlifting community appreciate CrossFit. Even though, like, if you go on YouTube and whatnot and looked up CrossFit videos, there was tons of people saying terrible things about it because, their form is so terrible. Which is true. Most CrossFitters have horrendous technique when it comes to weightlifting. But it's exposing the sport, which is why many weightlifters and many that I talk to appreciate CrossFit, because of that. Now, the thing is that, so we're in an Olympic year, 2012 Olympics, Summer Olympics in London. And there's only one male that is going to go and represents weightlifting this year. And so my whole idea is to...
For the United States.
Yeah, for
one guy is going
in the
to compete
world
against himself.
In the world, no, for the United States.
Mano. It's Donnie, right? Is Donnie?
No.
Maybe it could be.
It's not decided yet for the men.
Right. It's probably going to be.
We have to earn our spot at the Pan Am Championships in May. So we technically don't even have a single spot. We have to finish top 11, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that.
We have to finish
at the Pan Am Games.
At the Pan Am Championships.
So whoever finishes top.
Well, it's not the Pan Am Games. Pan Am Games is in 2013. This is Pan Am Championships. Is that right?
Pan Am. Well, it's in Guatemala. The one in Guatemala in May.
So the Pan Am Championships for weightlifting. If we finish top 11, then we'll get a spot for the Olympics for the men. So as long as our guys just don't totally jack it up, it'll be fine. As of right now, and we're gonna send our top ranked dude. Kendrick Ferris is numero uno, followed by Donnie Schenkel, and behind Donnie Schenkel
Chad
is
Vaughn.
Chad Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after
pretty
that,
legit dudes.
Well, I mean, they throw over 400 pounds over their head like it's lightweight. Yeah. So, but it's an amazing sport. It's fun to watch, a lot of fun to watch. and it's got some characters. I got a lot of footage of John North, Attitude Nation.
Attitude Nation.
So, it's funny because
That's what the sport needs, man.
I'm not sure I even liked that guy before this weekend. After this weekend, I was like, I want to hang out with that guy.
Exactly. You don't want a freaking golf clap after you just do the coolest thing in the world. You just put freaking massive weight over your head. You want freaking WWE.
That is John North.
That's why I always didn't care for weightlifting. Really, is that it seems so snooty,
too gentleman-y.
Well, it's like, look, you
It's a
want to
gentleman's
see
sport.
I think that's changed.
Loosen up and scream a little bit. Have some fun. Play some music. Let loose a little bit.
I think it's because it's an Olympic sport. I think that's.
Who cares?
That could be.
No,
There's a lot
I'm
of.
just explaining why it is the way it is. When he put James
by the
posted
way,
a really good video of John
The
North.
standard for Olympic sport pretty fucking low.
Well, it is now.
Basketball is
pong.
Olympic sport.
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Hey,
synchronized swimming and
tough
shit.
sport.
So John North is up there making a lot of noise, but there's a representative from USAW coming over saying, "No, you must calm down." He's like, "Oh, sorry," because they just want to kick him out. Probably they just wish he'd go away.
But I think he's great for the sport. I mean, he brings a lot of energy. He's super fun to watch, and he's a real nice guy too. So we're in the process of getting some money together. We're hopefully going to be going out to California Strength, filming those guys before the Pan Ams.
Maybe next month.
Yeah, next month going down to Shreveport and getting some good footage. CTP is telling us we need to wrap up because our batteries are running low.
Who's doing this?
Do you guys just need new batteries or what? Deal?
We need everything, Mike. Go ahead and plug y'all shit. What y'all got?
Hey, if you start buying stuff off of the website, we can afford to buy decent equipment and we can make this go longer.
Which is fitter.tv, which is probably where you're watching this.
That's right.
FITR.TV, right?
Good job,
Yes,
Chris.
very
Yeah,
good.
so
Fitter.
that's actually going to be my one of two plugs tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and do my plugs first. I always let everyone else do theirs, but I'll do mine first. Fitter.tv, sorry. That's where you'll find all sorts of interesting stuff. And then also techniquewad.com. That is where Doug Larson will be showing you how to be a better human being through movement.
How to have great posture.
James, any plugs?
On fitter.tv, we just started doing a weightlifting documentary blog, and so I'm going to be updating that as we go forward with this because I think this film needs to be made, and the sports practitioners need to be known because they're amazing athletes, and they're cool people too. So,
Christopher?
TheChrisMooreBlog.com and look up that shit on CrossFit Journal.
the P word.
Yeah,
P-word.
share questions, share thoughts, and
he has quite a few articles, so read them all.
Yeah, I've got another one. And as soon as I can sit down and write, I got another one I'm gonna send to them soon. So
Will it involve a picture of me or my name?
Yeah, no. Damn it. Nothing about you.
All right, Robby, what's your plug?
I have two plugs.
Crossfit
One, if
Chickasaw.
you happen to live in the Midtown / East Memphis area and are interested in trying CrossFit, you should.
Trying to cannibalize my business.
No, just let me finish
You
before
son of a bitch.
before I get my ass kicked in the parking lot.
I'm all for capitalism until you take my money, motherfucker.
You should come try it out. We're hoping to be open in about 4 or 5 weeks. I will say though, as my home has been at Faction Strength and Conditioning for
We're gonna miss you, Robby.
yeah, the past 6 or 7 months. These are a great bunch of guys, a tremendous amount of knowledge. I go way out of my way, sometimes several times a day, to go out there and be part of that. And I couldn't recommend it more highly. If you want to try CrossFit, if CrossFit Chickasaw is not convenient to you or just isn't your flavor, I couldn't recommend it enough. If you're coming to the Memphis area and you want to try CrossFit, check out Faction, especially in the afternoons. You will have a great time.
You can plug your own thing. You're not going to make me mad. You can plug it a little bit harder than that.
You want to plug Well, I mean,
CrossFit Chickasaw.
CrossFit Chickasaw. It's going to be great. It's not
You
going
guys
to
have
be
a website up yet?
no website.
Any logos? Any
We're about
t-shirts,
ninjas
swag?
and elitism. No, we don't have any swag. We're working on it. CTP actually gave us a great logo idea that I don't want to spoil yet, which we're working on.
Who's your head coach?
Wow, we hadn't thought about it. I'm gonna say right now I'm the head coach. Michelle Kinney,
Yay, Robby!
Michelle Kinney and Jeff Baxter learned everything they knew about athleticism and sport from me.
That's what they told me.
Yeah. They both call me Big Daddy.
Why is that?
That's not bad. Let me show you in the parking lot later. I have no idea who the head coach is going to be.
But whoever he is, he's or she, they're going to be great, I'm sure.
We're going to try. We're going to try real hard. We want to be an active participant in the CrossFit community. We're hoping to work well with the other gyms in the area and grow the idea of CrossFit
community.
Yeah, it's a huge thing to us, and we're just excited to kind of bring CrossFit to a new little area in Memphis.
I say the more CrossFit gyms, the better.
Did you have another plug?
For sure.
Two. Was that?
Well, I was plugging Faction too because I really do think it's a fantastic.
All right, bitches, y'all just been shrugged. Peace.
Barbell Shrugged out.
Yeah.